welcome to Fast Five, where our panelists weigh in on 5 separate topics. Let's get started. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, famous sheriff in the United States, rolls out new prisoner uniforms with the U.S. flag. Henry, this is the guy that said prison should not be fun. He wants his people out there working. He has lots of rules.
I think that's great.
What do you think?
You know, I think it's great. I'm sure the uniforms were wearing out, so he had to replace them, and why not put the American flag on the uniforms?
They were pounding too many rocks.
Pounding too many rocks, exactly. Okay, they had the chains on. They were pounding too many rocks.
Mary?
Oh my gosh. No, I agree.
You got a visual on that?
Yeah, clear visual. You know, it reminds them of our country and our justice system and what's really important, and I think that they should have to look at it every day, and I think it's a good idea.
All right, infidelity site Ashley Madison, that's the site you go to if you want to cheat, trying to revive their credibility after the now famous computer hack where people got into their account and found all these famous people that were trying to cheat on their wives, and now a Federal Trade Commission investigation. So tell me, Mary, how does an infidelity website regain or even have credibility to begin with?
I just can't even believe that. I just can't even believe this. It's, in my opinion, it's evil, and you know, I hope that they are stripped of all of their rights and. In terms of having this website, not like their constitutional right,
baby.
They're Canada anyway.
Right. No. Just I hope that the website is completely discredited because it's absolutely ridiculous. There's just no words.
So
the First Amendment stops here for you.
No.
So let me ask you a question. This is a website that people who have trust issues are going to.
Right.
And the website now has trust issues.
Right, they're upset that they
so
can't trust
do we
the
see any
website.
problem here? You know,
Right.
pot calling the kettle black or whatever, you know.
So I don't think they have trust issues. I think people just go there because they want to they want to get lucky.
Well, the leadership there is I mean, that
Leadership, that's an interesting term.
Well, I mean, they're the people that are, you know, under fire, right? For
The reality is sex sells, whether it's porn or whether it's some website that lets you be a cheater.
It's really
sells.
sad.
All right, number 3, Twinkies are back and going public.
I
The
have a
potheads
confession.
are happy about that, right?
I have a confession. I've never had a Twinkie before. I just have never.
I should have
not-
picked them up. Yeah, I should have picked them up this afternoon. We could have.
I
you know,
want to try one. I mean, it's just
You're not missing much.
never.
So,
Well, that's
so
what
they're
I've heard.
going public. Hostess is going public. Hostess used to be a big name in the baking industry with Twinkies and cupcakes and all of that kind of stuff. They're
Ding
back.
dongs, ho ho.
I've had plenty of their other products,
Okay.
just not a Twinkie. I mean,
Okay. You know, Twinkies, they say that was the one that they used to say all of the policemen used to eat. Though I've never ever seen, other than in the movies, a policeman eat a Twinkie. Okay, Putin to Obama. Let's have better ties. What is that all about?
So awkward.
I think he is just poking. It's what Putin does. Same thing as seeing the warships within proximity of our warships. Or sitting in one of their fighter craft to buzz one of our planes. It's poking at us. And Putin knows he can get away with it because Obama will not respond.
And his compliment, if you can even call it a compliment, was so half-hearted. Putin was like, "Oh yeah, he's a decent guy because he admitted, you know, what one of his biggest mistakes while in office was." I mean, it's just typical Putin. I feel like.
His biggest mistake was running for office.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, exactly. All right, last one. Juno reaches Jupiter. That's our spaceship from NASA. The boys and girls at NASA are happy this week.
It's awesome. And I was reading an article too that said they had 3 little Lego figurines on Juno to like encourage, you know, kids to be more interested in science and math. And I think that's great. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously it's monumental and very serious, but there can be some fun and lightheartedness in it all too. So that was neat.
so it's a 7-year mission to explore, a
I think it was
5-year
5, yeah.
mission, okay, to explore the planets and Jupiter itself. Send back some data because they think that possibly there's a moon or 2 on Jupiter that could harbor life.
Maybe, and I think too because Jupiter was the one of the first planets to form, they're thinking, okay, this can really give us a lot of information about the evolution of the solar system, how it came to be, yada, yada, yada. All those evolutionists are just
If you
dancing
believe in
around, they're
evolution, that's
excited.
fine.
Well, right, I don't. So, but it's still exciting. It's still exciting to explore and discover things. And I think NASA isn't real, and just space exploration in general really isn't in the news as much as it should be. It's very
isn't.
exciting.
It is. Well, once they shut down the space shuttle program, we really lost touch with the things that NASA is doing. And now through companies like SpaceX and projects like this Juno project, hopefully that will be back in. I think it's something else that Americans can coalesce around and feel good about the country that we live in and all of the cool things that we're able to do. That's all the time we have for Fast Five. Stay tuned though. Last Call is next. We'll be back in 3